Good morning, guys, and welcome back to Dusting Off Warlord, Saga of the Storm, featuring Black Tom of Corinth, one of the oldest warlords in the game. He came out in set number 2 in Assassin's Strike in 2001, yes. Some pretty awesome William O'Connor artwork. He was actually reprinted, I believe, in Epic Edition. And his art there is, I think, really not as good compared to this. I don't even think I own a copy of the other art because this one's just so classic to me. So Black Tom is a level 5 evil rogue. He is an assassin. He's unique. Yeah, those were days. He's got +6/+1 for his melee strikes. He's got 16 armor class, 8 skill, and 3 hit points. He may start the game with rogues from other armies, and rogues joining this army have no loyalty penalty. This might be worded slightly differently in the Epic Edition version. It might be updated somewhat. He has this because, as I said, he is the rogue guildmaster. Now, there was a guildmaster for every single class, fighter, wizard, cleric, and rogue, and all of them had that ability, which was kind of cool, especially back then because the card pool was very, very small when this guy got printed. So he also has this spend react. After a character misses a character in this army with a melee strike, the attacking character suffers 1 wound. So it's pretty cool if there's no check for that, and missing melee strikes, it's going to happen quite a bit. There was a deck a long, long time ago, before Black Knives, the reprint set came out, because I believe Black Knives is when Yadra's Tooth got errated. Basically, back in the day, Yadra's Tooth used to have the text, characters wounded by Yadra's Tooth are killed. You could put that on this guy, and yeah, it was a problem. It was a big problem. So you can't really do that, unfortunately, but that's okay. Now, historically speaking, my Black Tom deck has basically been kind of a contemporary of how I play Sir Robert. I would start Morn Jackals in rank 4, and then, what is it? Was it Will-o'-the-Wisp in rank 2? And I would just play level 5 rogues. I'd play Pride, I'd play Tabisa, I'd play all the level 5 rogues. And it's not that it didn't work. It was a fun deck to play. It was just too much like my Robert deck. And so I'm like, I like Robert more. So this did take quite a different approach to it after I dismantled it and rebuilt it from the ground up. So, because Black Tom's got that Rogues Guild ability, we are going to be starting him with 2 copies of Black Sand Catapult in rank 2. And, again, I used to start Caskel in rank 1, because this actually kind of combos fairly interesting with Black Sand Catapult. And Black Sand Catapult, because it's forcing a save DC, and DC 13, basically 15 with a Caskel going off, that is usually high enough that a lot of characters who you don't want to be swinging at Hayden Risk. Like, you don't want to risk his ability going off. Shield Wall Knight, stuff like that. Black Sand Catapult stops, I think, pretty much most of that. I think this stops... If memory serves, this gets through stealth, too. Like, if there's a Prophet. Because I've also started Prophet before. Now, however, with the change to the rules, I'm thinking Mary S. Ank is probably going to be better than Caskel. Because Charisma being able to use that on opposing characters and give them disadvantage, probably better than the Caskel's penalty, and her stats are just better as well. So, yeah, we're going to do that. And that's, not taking as much advantage of that Rogue's Guild ability as I would like, but, you know, we are starting some Noth Rogues with the Mercs, so that's fine. So this deck is basically, again, it's similar, but it's not the same as the Robert deck. Instead of level 5s, we're almost exclusively doing level 4s. And again, some of these may not be exactly optimal, but we play for fun. It's fine. I do enjoy playing this deck. I think it's going to be, again, even better now that Mary S. Hank is out. So we've got 3 copies of Kabasi and 3 copies of Udar. Udar, yeah, no. So these are both assassins. They're both level 4. Kabasi, I believe, was made to be used with Black Tom. His stats are pretty incredible for a 4th level character. +6/+4 for his attack, 16 armor class, 6 skill, 3 hit points, which is awesome. He is an assassin, which I'm not really... Actually, I'm doing a little bit with that. He may not perform any actions while your warlord is ready. So, actually, his flavor text, his ambition outstrips his loyalty. So, yeah, and that's Black Tom. It's a quote from Black Tom himself. So, basically, Black Tom should pretty often have a reason to become spend. You can just move him if you need to, if you need Kabasi to do stuff as well. You can also spend him to help Urdar here. So Urdar came out of 4th edition. He came out of Crimson Coast. His stats are nowhere near as good. +4/+3 for his attacks, 15 AC. He's only got 2 hit points, and his skills only with +5. He does have stealth built in, which is pretty awesome. He needs a, what is that, a 13 to make it, so that's not very good. I do actually like that they started doing this, and I want to say they're still doing this now. You used to have some characters, like I think the biggest offender, at least for stealth, I think was Trespass, where Trespass, the spend order for him to jump to rank 2, or to their rank 1 from rank 2, I think he needed a fairly high number. I think he needed like a 10 or something like that. Maybe it was higher. But just normal stealth checks for him, he's like practically guaranteed to make it. This guy, there's actually some risk involved here, because you're really not guaranteed to make this. In fact, you are not even likely to make this. So, but his melee strikes inflict an additional wound against higher level characters. That can be really awesome. And then order, spend your warlord, move Udar forward 1 rank. So yeah, you always have a way, as long as there's an Udar in play, you can get Tom spent so Kabasi can get some stuff done. Oh, and then this was also really cool. We have 3 copies of Mokan in here, also originally from the treasure chest, but reprinted in Into the Accordlands. I really hope they do, they keep up this trend, because some of the cards in the treasure chest, Minor Miracle, Bring the Savant, I think is probably the biggest offender. I guess Incinerate's also a fairly big offender. Actually, no, because Incinerate was in... Yeah, okay, forget the Incinerate part, but although I am glad they're reprinting that too. Mokan is a pretty interesting character, and only in the treasure chest. So, he's a scout. Actually, I think Mokan is a chick. I think I see tits. I don't know. Those could be pecs, so I don't know. Fourth level stats, not anything amazing. Spend order, perform 2+4 range strikes. I don't do that too terribly often, but I am glad that he has it, because being able to randomly shoot things, and you're shooting twice, which is nice. This is pretty much in here because of the react. Once per turn, after an opposing character moves without spending or stunning, Mokan moves forward 1 rank or performs a +7 range strike. So potentially 3 shots with this, but it's also movement, which is nice, because this deck, yeah, I don't really have any ways of getting these guys starting higher or closer than rank 4, so movement's good. So we got 3 copies of that. And then also a fairly new edition, 3 copies of Agnieszka. Agnieszka? I'm just going to call her Agnes, because I don't really know how to pronounce that. Out of 4th edition, so out of City of Gold. So Agnes here can equip 2 weapons, which is awesome. We are playing around with that. She has an additional melee strike base +1 attack when she attacks for each equipped weapon. Again, yeah, it's awesome. Order, spend a weapon equipped to Agnes, move forward or backward 1 rank, or until end of the turn, gain repulse +5 or power attack +5. Really, it's the movement, and you still get the extra strikes when you spend them to move or to gain repo. I think I pretty much use this just for moving. I actually am such a big fan of this card. At some point, I actually recorded this, and I think it came out awful, so I've never published it. I think she is a very interesting candidate for Jatuya's Sign. I would have so much fun playing her with Sign, especially with that 3rd hit point. So 3 copies of her. And then we also have a copy of Husek. This guy is, I think he's more cute than good, but I do really, really like this guy. He's unique. He's got actually kind of even worse stats than the other guys, because he only got 1 strike, but... after he inflicts a wound on a spent character with a melee strike, perform another melee strike against that character. And that itself can trigger the react. So basically, if you can get his attack high enough, basically he just stabs something until it stops moving. So I'm a big fan of him. He's pretty cool. I believe that is the fighting character base. We have a couple other things in here. Yeah, I have a copy of Halo of Fire. This is pretty much just in here because it works well with Tom's ability. I think for the longest time I wasn't really playing this because I didn't really use Tom's react or his spin react all that much. He was really in here only because he let me play 5th level rogues from other factions. But I think this is still solid. 2 wounds off of that. I believe there are maybe a couple other things that can trigger off of that. Actually, maybe not. It won't work with the Mokans, but... it will work with the Roland Watts. 2 copies of these. I think I was running 3 copies of these. This guy's an assassin. He's a scout. His stats don't really matter at all. I guess the 2 hit points can be sometimes important if someone's trying to snipe him off. React. After another character has performed an action to draw or retrieve cards or force you to discard cards, kill Roland, cancel the action, and inflict 1 wound on the character performing the action. With Halo of Fire, this is 2 wounds, and it's stopping whatever they're doing. Just having him in play can be kind of annoying, so I think the Halo of Fire was a 3rd one of this, because I am a really big fan of Roland Watts. He can be, again, when he's good, he's an asshole when he's good. It's great. Oh, good heavens, man! So then we also have a three copies of Beskez. Beskez is a very very odd character. He's a promo from Campaign Edition. I don't really remember what set he was around in. Um, 2004. So yeah, he's got stealth plus 10. His stats are nothing amazing. Again, his stealth, he needs to roll sevens for it. You're probably never gonna need. Hopefully, you never need to roll those. Besquez enters play in the rank behind an opponent's last occupied rank. So instead of him entering play in your formation, he starts way on the other side of the opposing army. He has a thing talking about maneuvering it being stealth. That doesn't matter anymore. Stealth used to be a freaking train wreck of a feat. Like, good lord, was stealth. It was like this wall of text about what you could do, what you couldn't do while you were stealth, and if you did something that you weren't supposed to do, you no longer count as yeah. But that doesn't really matter anymore. If Besquez is in your army, your warlord gains the ability order once per turn, move an opposing character forward or backward one rank. This can be one of the most, I know, because one, I've played this and I've had people do this to me. At least they've Besquez me. They haven't done this other thing yet. Basically, you can, their guy who wants to stay in rank 2, we'll say it's a shooting guy. We'll say it's, okay, you know, out of the new set, we'll say it's Mare Haven. She does not want to go to rank 1. This can harpoon her to rank 1, and then she might have to, she probably doesn't want to be there. She might have to maneuver backwards if she doesn't have a way of moving backwards without maneuvering. But you can also maneuver her backwards, and she's not close enough to shoot anymore unless she has some other form of movement. And yeah, you can also, if it's someone in the back, like say it's Madriga, and she's in the very back, she has no reason to move, and say she's spent to cast Lift Up Your Voices or something. Bezquez can move her backward and it stuns her unless there's someone else in the rank to keep the rank structure intact. This guy, he's so bizarre. And the reason we're running him is now, I am not saying I'm the only one who's ever done this, but I have never seen or heard of anyone else doing this. So we have this card here from Dominance, the Plane of Secrets. The Plane of Secrets is a very odd card. You can do a lot of stuff with this. It's level 5. You place this card in your 5th rank where it becomes a level 1 classless character with crappy stats. In the order, discard this card to bring a character of 5th level or lower into play in this rank. So what you can do, and what I think I have done with this in the past, is I'll just use this as kind of a form of movement. I'll maneuver it. I'll play it in rank 5, I'll maneuver it to 4, and then I'll bring a 5th level character into rank 4, which is, it's kind of movement. If you have a way to unstun somebody, like I think in Elves I've done this with Magaline, you can just stun this up to the front, and then you can play a character in that rank after you've unstunned it with Magaline, and hopefully it survives. The odds are not good because it's only got 7 armor class, but so Besquez, I think that the idea behind this guy is he went into their form. I think he's holding, okay, no, he's holding a knife. Okay, no, okay. Basically, he goes into he's in the enemy formation, and he's gathered information on them, and he has to make it back to your lines in order to relay it to you. And so it can take a while for him to get back, but the reward is pretty good. With this, you don't have to do that. You just play Plane of Secrets, Besquez, and you all of a sudden get this ability to, you know, move their characters around, and you can create illegal ranks with it. And if you have multiple Besquezes, you can do it multiple times. It can be it could be fun. So it's very silly. Again, my meta is a very casual meta, and this is just the kind of fun stuff we do. So, and then we've got 3 copies as far as the other actions go, because this deck does not have very many actions. Again, it is very similar to my Robert, but we've got 3 copies of Backstab and 3 copies of Neutralize. So Backstab is a classic. Is this card amazing? I actually think it is. I quite like this card. Before this, rogue makes a melee strike roll. If the target of the strike is spent, the rogue gets +5 attack, and the strike inflicts additional wound. Pretty much all the guys can play this. Even Roland Watts could play this if for some reason he's punching things. This is just, yeah, if they become spent, this is just a way to abuse them. Neutralize is very odd. So it's level 2. You discard X cards, inflict a wound on target character within 1 rank, whose level is equal to X plus 1. So you can play this. Pretty much what this is in here for is just to do a wound to a level 1 character. Like, I don't want to have to roll for it. I want to hopefully break some ranks, and I don't have to spend one of my guys to do something. So I believe there was a game where I did actually toss 4 cards to do a wound to a warlord, and I can't remember who I did that to, but I know I have done that at least once. So these actually are probably going to come out for I want to say it's Assassin Strike. out of Into the Accord which is basically a contemporary. It's another backstab, and I like backstab stuff. I think this is, again, is this good? No, but randomly, just being able to play this and kill a level 1 guy, and you don't have to strike them, you don't have to, you know, they can't stealth it, they can't, I mean, I guess they could defend it. But yeah, I like that. I think it's a pretty interesting card. And then we have a crap load of items. We've got 3 copies of Portable Hole, and we got a bunch of steeds and steed-like things. What do we have here? So Portable Hole, I mean, it's a classic card. It's level 7. You spend it to move forward or backward up to 2 ranks. This used to move you to any rank, as long as it didn't create an illegal one. Again, those were days of glory. Once per turn, destroy an item equipped to this rogue, draw a card. Typically speaking, I know some people use this as, like, a very, very, like, way to filter through your deck. I believe someone was talking about that on my channel at some point. I can't remember. Pretty much, this is just I move forward 2 ranks and I get rid of it to draw a card. So yeah, because this is not exactly a tournament viable deck, I don't think, but it's fun. Then we've also got a bunch of steeds. We've got a sewer worm, a boots of, actually I guess boots of speed is not a steed. Oh, it is too early in the morning. A Cloud Racer, a Shade Lion, and a Garm. This is all just, again, try to get your rogues up forward. These are mostly low enough level that they can equip these even if they're not, you know, even if they didn't enter play this turn. The Garm is kind of the worst one because it's level 7, but the Boots of Speed, level 4, Sewer Worm, and Shade Lion, level 5, Cloud Racer, level 6, so yeah, that's just movement. And then a bunch of weapons here. For multiple reasons. 1, because I like weapons. 2, because, again, Agnes with 2 weapons is pretty awesome. And so I'm not doubling up on anything with this. We've got a copy of Wraithstone Dagger, a copy of Norn Stinger, a copy of Blade of Dark Tidings, a copy of the Dick, and then Leopard's Claws, and Viper's Tongue, and Black Steel Dagger. Whew. Where do I even start with all these weapons? Wraithstone Dagger, basically this just helps you ignore planar. I hate the planar. I hate it so much. It never works for me, and I always roll odd numbers, and yeah, and it's low level. Norn Stinger, this is just a way to potentially spend somebody, because again, you want them spent so you can abuse them. The stats are okay. I mean, it gives you armor class 2, which is nice. The save DC is usually, actually, I don't want to say usually. What is it practically going to be? I think most of the guys have around +5. +6. I guess there's some +6s and +5s. Udar is +4. Yeah. That would make it DC. We'll say worst case scenario, it's Udar who has it. So his attack is going to be, what is that? 7. So DC 13 it becomes spent. That's acceptable. Is it amazing? No, but yeah. Blade of Dark Tidings out of the 20th anniversary set. If this rogue is an elf, wounds from their strikes cannot be reduced. Yeah, not doing that. It just spends for a +0. So again, on Agnes, it's even more strikes she's making. I guess she wouldn't be able to move and do that too. Huh. That's fine. It's a cool weapon. It's low level. It's +3 attack. Dirk is also pretty cool. Your melee strikes ignore AC bonuses from armor, shields, and helms. So yeah, that gets through a lot of things right there. It's only got +1 attack, but again, if you're negating... oh man, I'm going to quote freaking Rich Carter here when he was talking about Ballista Crew. If you're ignoring one of those, you're probably ignoring multiples of those. So, I mean, that can be pretty awesome. Leopard's Claws just giving you an extra strike. Again, great on Agnes, because functionally speaking, this is giving her two extra swings. So, Viper's Tongue. After this character performs a melee strike that hit the target, spend the Viper's Tongue. The target must succeed with a poison save, DC 14 or 19 if this rogue is an assassin, or suffer a wound and become stunned. I think a lot of these characters are assassins. I don't think it's all of them. Let me see. Actually, maybe it's not even most of them. Oh my, I guess it's just the Udars and the Kabasis and the Roland Watts, and you don't want Roland Watts having to hold that thing. Like that would be a sad state of affairs. So, okay, but DC 14 or suffer wound and become stunned, so that's pretty awesome. And then the Black Steel Dagger, this just tacks a backstab on all your strikes, and it does stack with backstab, so pretty awesome. And then a single copy of Seer's Stone. This is another thing. Typically, I think I've thrown this on to Tom, just because, again, the doing the extra wound, or doing a wound with his spend react, it's not that that's bad, it's that, like, giving all of your guys stealth +5, I mean, I think these guys usually have around +6 skill, +5 skill, it looks like a lot of them are +6, except for Hussak, who's got +3. You know, that gives them a chance to potentially avoid being hit by things and improve their survivability, so that is pretty much the current build on this. And again, there's going to be, I think, some changes coming up with some of the Into the Accordlands stuff that I just have not put in here yet. Again, even the Marys haven't even been, I haven't played the deck with the Marys yet. It's still just the Caskells. So before Agnes came out, I was running Chiso Pra. Chisulo Pra. He's free kingdoms, he's a monk, he's a Narawat, for whatever that matters. His attacking ability is not amazing, he's only got 2+4s, but he gets 1 strike per attack if he has a weapon equipped, and again, there's a bunch of weapons in here, so it was not difficult for him to have 3 strikes, maybe 4 if it's a Leopard's Claws. He could probably go back in. When Agnes came out, I'm like, oh, she's freaking so much cooler, so we're going to play her. I guess I could do both. I was at one point also running Zagreb Umbala for a very similar reason. After he performs an attack, perform a melee strike targeting a spent character within own rank, functionally speaking, a lot of the time, he's got 3 strikes. And so, yeah, those guys are very, very similar to one another. I think I was actually running both of them. But, yeah, and so out of any of the Accord lands, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be including Assassin's Strike. Because although this is higher level than Backstab, I mean, all the fighting guys... Again, Roland can't play it. Oh, no. Before this character makes a strike roll against a spent character, the character gains advantage for the strike, roll 2 dice and use the better result, and the strike inflicts an additional wound. I don't actually know what's better. I think it depends on what you're swinging at, whether +5 or advantage is better. I think if your odds of hitting them are already pretty good, I think advantage is better. That way it lessens the odds of you rolling a 1, because you have to roll 2 ones. If you're up against something that's, I don't know, maybe is the middle of the dice curve, the backstabs might be better. I don't know. Huh. That's an interesting thought exercise there. And then potentially sneak attack too. This is level 2. Perform a +4 melee strike that melee target a spent character. Probably not difficult to have happen. Oh, and so this is going to sound very, very strange, I guess, because again, we play casually. Like, if something gets to be too good, we actually stop playing it. We're like, this is too much of a negative experience, or it's never losing, so we just stop playing it. I am not playing Inheritance in this deck specifically because when I went over those weapons, again, that's a really, really like crap ton of weapons. And as odd as this sounds, it's kind of interesting. It's kind of just fun seeing what combinations end up on Agnes. Like, because I can't look for them. It's like, what did I happen to draw? So that probably should be in here. It would help Tom grab the Sayer Stone, because you can Inheritance off of his spend react. Yeah. I mean, again, is it optimal? Probably. I'm intentionally not playing it because, again, just the surprise factor of what is my Agnes? You know, what weapon am I drawing this time is kind of cool. There's also Passing the Knives. I do like this, even after it's errata. Just with this deck, I think I would need more low-level rogues to really make this happen. Spend order. If this rogue is in your front rank, spend X rogues, target a character up to X ranks away, perform a melee strike against the target, then perform X +0 melee strikes against the target. These strikes may not receive any attack bonuses, and ignore all bonuses and penalties. That's the errata there, is the penalties part, to the target's armor class. So you can use this to reach out and get somebody who just will not come to the front, and yeah, I think still perfectly usable, again, even after the errata, but I think I would need to be running a bunch more level 1s and 2s to really make this, you know, shine, and that's just not what I want to do with this deck. So, and then a couple defensive things. I was running Fancy Footwork for a little bit. I actually don't really like this card when you're not stuck in 4th edition. So after this rogue is targeted with a strike, get +4 AC till the end of the turn. You may redirect the strike to an adjacent character if possible. You may shuffle Fancy Footwork into your deck. I think this works. I think in a deck like this, I almost think I'm better off just running like a piece of armor instead of this. I know you have to spend an action to do the armor and you don't get it back. Likewise, out of any of the Accord lands, Dizzying Footwork, I guess maybe potentially. Before target character makes a strike roll, the target suffers disadvantage for the strike. Roll 2 dice and use the worst results. I guess if you really wanted to keep people alive, I mean, this deck is not really built around that. Again, the Sayer Stone is about as close as I get to defensive tech. I think potentially an option, especially if you play both of those together. I don't know. Yeah, I think I would probably be better off just playing Armor Blending instead of one of those things. The majority of the characters can't equip this in rank 1, but I mean, Stealth +4. I mean, with the Sayer Stone, that would be Stealth +9, so they have a pretty good chance of canceling 1 strike per turn, and then that's not even counting. Now, I don't really like stealthing into people's formations most of the time, but that would be an option with how many guys I have in here. So, and then last, Bag of Holding. Spend the Bag of Holding and discard a card from your hand to draw a card. I do like this. I just don't think I have room for it, and Yeah, there's nothing in here that I'm super desperate to get. I mean, except for the Agnes, but I'm not even super desperate for her. All these characters, for the most part, are perfectly serviceable people to go to the front and start stabbing things. So, um, yeah, I don't, I don't know if there's too much more to say about Black Tom here. So, I think out of all the guild masters, he is by far the one I have played the most. Um, I did go through a phase where I was playing Anton quite a bit, and it was okay. I don't know. I think the fighter and rogue ones, I think they tend to work the best because a lot of these characters, even if you don't draw any gear, I mean, Agnes is kind of the exception to this, but I mean, Mokan is perfectly usable just as Mokan. You don't need anything, to help her win. Same thing with the Kobasi. I mean, to a lesser extent, I guess the Udar as well. But like the wizards don't really do anything for the most part unless you draw cool stuff, and yeah, kind of the same thing for the clerics. I mean, the days of the three wise men are kind of long past us. So, yeah, yeah, that is Black Tom of Corinth, guys. So thank you for checking this out. God bless you, and I'll catch you in the next video.